Right, yeah, let's get into this Q&A. I'm going to wear a special... Oh, my... This is... Yeah, it's kind of awkward. Well, at least my shirt fits. That's all I will say. Welcome back to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Ka-ching!
Kind of awkward, really. I mean, why did you wear the same shirt as me, man?
I saw you putting that on and thought I'll put this on at the same time.
NJ people, yeah, like I said, welcome to another Q&A. If you have any questions that you want to ask us, please put them down in the comment section below.
And please ask some Cody Rhodes questions. Yeah, ask them now. Go on.
Kind of awkward, NJ. But anyway, we'll start off with questions from @Callum Burgess. What was the worst pay-per-view of the PG era?
Capital Punishment.
Gotta be Capital Punishment. I remember how bad Capital Punishment was. It was so terrible. When will Sting retire from pro wrestling?
Now.
No, he probably will join WWE first, maybe for a year or two, and then retire. That's how I feel it'll happen anyway. He'll probably go into the Hall of Fame, then we'll finally decide at the age of 55 to fucking retire.
60. Next.
Still can't believe you wore the same shirt as me. Which wrestling company is the best, TNA or WWE?
Hands down WWE.
I don't really care, if I'm honest with you. I really don't. All I care about at the moment is this thing is the first video we've done where we've wore the same damn t-shirt. It's only taken like 3 years. @Mark the Fish. Mr. Parkin, want to hear a funny joke? Man United, what's going on? What would you do with the team? Moving on. @Imozil, Liam Reynolds, the name is. Do you think some wrestling fans are still living in the Summer of Punk, his title reign days, and overrate him? I don't know, to a degree. The thing is, now he's left, it's a bit like, you know, bleh. But, you know, do you think the fans still kind of overrate him?
Yes. As soon as CM Punk left, yes, you got a mixture of fans that thought it's about time, didn't really care, didn't like him. Then there's a whole load more fans, it seems, that says, oh, CM Punk's gone, he should have left, he was one of my favourites. People are trying to defend him leaving. It's come to a point where, yes, fans are making it seem like he's overrated, even though there are still fans who think he's the best in the world.
The thing is, though, let's face it, WWE put a lot behind the guy, but they had him face guys like Brock Lesnar, The Rock, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Undertaker at WrestleMania. How many other wrestlers can say they've been in the same damn position as CM Punk?
And Cody Rhodes at one point.
Hopefully. Yeah, so I think people did overrate him a little bit. I mean, let's face it, he was never going to be the top guy for the company because that was always going to be John Cena. So to say he was going to be a top guy was just unrealistic. Clyde Wendell Slater III. With the rumours of Piper and Hogan, also the involvement of Brock, Batista, Undertaker, and lastly the potential Hall of Fame class Warrior, Jake the Snake, and hopefully Savage, how much faith or potential do you give WrestleMania 30 in being one of the best Manias? Well, you would think WWE would want to actually give a good Mania with it being WrestleMania 30 and it being a landmark, etc. I mean, they've got a good Hall of Fame class already, and they've got people like Brock Lesnar, Batista, you know, Undertaker going to be coming back. Triple H will probably be back, and you'll have, you know, some star power in there. So hopefully it'll be a good WrestleMania. I mean, I don't know, because right now I'm kind of feeling about WrestleMania myself.
I think it depends on the matches we get once they're booked, and if they've either been seen before multiple times, if they're fresh big matches that we care about that are going to benefit the future of wrestling, depends how you see WrestleMania matches. I think that's what's going to play a big part in our opinions.
Like Batista versus Orton, not. XX Scorp 18XX. If you could take two superstars from TNA and WWE and switch them, who would they be?
I'll start with TNA. Bobby Roode, please.
Switch Bobby Roode with...
I'd say...
Really
you could say John Cena to get rid of him, but I'm going to go with...
Well, John Cena would probably give TNA a lot of good credibility, and maybe then... But from a business standpoint, from WWE, it would be terrible. But from TNA, it would be good.
Randy Orton. Once he smokes one more pipe or one more joint, off he goes.
He could smoke as much as he wanted to in TNA.
That's one for one. Now we've got to pick another two, do we?
I believe so.
Okay. TNA, who would be good?
I'd say you could probably send Samoa Joe from TNA over to WWE. Would give it like a different fit, and you could have someone like Dolph Ziggler go over to TNA because he kind of fits their ethos as a technical wrestler and everything, and he wouldn't work in WWE anyway. Ambrose Freak 95. Should WWE introduce an Evolution style faction with 2 stars out of NXT and 2 established legends in order to get those NXT stars over? You know, I don't really like the idea of rehashing the same thing like an Evolution style faction, but You know, I mean, you look at what they're doing now with the Shield and the Wyatt family, and you know, you've got the Wyatt family, which is obviously there to put Bray Wyatt over, and the Shield, which is obviously there to put Roman Reigns over. So they're doing a decent job, in my opinion, of trying to put over some new stars.
Well, taking a couple of months back, we got asked a similar question, and to bring faction back into WWE when they need to really work on single careers, single matches, I don't think. Yes, it's all about putting people over, but they should work on the singles first.
Indeed, but the thing is with factions is it helps the guy prepare themselves to be in a singles career. Like for example, with the Hardys when they're in a tag team and they're putting on great matches, and then you know you had Jeff Hardy go away from that and then go be a single star. So yeah,
And there was Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase in Legacy.
yeah, and where did Ted DiBiase end up? That's all I will say. Does the lack of interest in WWE today make it hard for WWE to create new stars? That's mainly down to writing and booking, and also probably down to the fact that WWE wants to satisfy their shareholders short term rather than long term.
I'm not going to give up saying this because to me, for a long, long time now, the WWE's concentration has been on the main event scene, while the rest of the WWE have struggled to get their focus.
I mean, the fact that less people watch the TV show means that less people actually are looking at these so-called stars in WWE. So you know, there's less ability for them to be a household name, but at the same hand, you've got this WWE brand and their marketing, which could pretty much make anyone a household name if they put the right amount of effort behind it and money too. The $2.99. Why do you think non-wrestling fans that shit on it for being fake yet watch shows and movies? You know, it's just because wrestling has a bad ethos, I guess, because you know it's guys, you know, fake fighting and stuff, and you know they think that shows and movies are real when really they're actually not.
In the words of my brother and my father when they were into wrestling, it's gone from all the great wrestlers that were there, got concentration, the fused interest, and it's gradually been watered down. Not every wrestler's getting the focus they deserve, and they're just losing interest in it compared to movies, which after movie after movie after movie, they get better and better, great concentration, great build up, and that's the difference.
I think the problem is back in the day when we were teenagers and kids, etc. Wrestling was cool. You had the Attitude Era, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin. You wouldn't mind going around the street wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin or the Rock shirt because wrestling was pretty cool back then. And the problem is a lot of people nowadays that probably used to watch wrestling back then and then go watch it now, they're thinking, man, this is shit. And they're probably right. So basically, it's just because now wrestling isn't as cool, and then they get into the whole because it looks more fake and everything, and that's why they do this, in my opinion. Renegade Man 83. Should NXT bring back the Jack Briscoe 15 championship? It was a good championship in FCW because it was like a mid-card championship. But in my opinion, NXT already has 3 belts, the main championships, the tag team championships, and the women's championship. And I think right now, I think that's a decent amount, especially considering the amount of people on the roster. Even though I like the idea of the Jack Briscoe championship because you have to be wrestling in a 15-minute match, and it's like how many falls you can get in that 15 minutes. It was a good concept, in my opinion.
With me, not just NXT, any wrestling business should have championships to represent certain part of their company. Like, you've got the main championship for the top guys, the mid card for the middle guys, the tag for the tag teams, the divas for instead of bringing all these extra ones in that won't overtake the other ones, but just put too much championships going on instead of dividing your wrestlers into groups. I don't think it's needed.
To be honest, right now, I'd rather NXT write proper feuds rather than just bland title feuds in my. So I'd say no. Do you feel that Dean Ambrose will end up being in the same category as Damien Sandow, Fandango, and/or Curtis Axel based on the way he has been booked lately? Then again, it doesn't surprise me since they're pushing Roman Reigns, the least talented of the 3, when it comes to in-ring and mic skills as a breakout star when they do part ways. Based on the way he's booked, right? I mean, he is technically the longest reigning champion in the WWE right now, even though he never defends the belt. But it is true. Generally, when he's involved in matches and the Shield lose, he does the job.
When it comes to Dean Ambrose, the fact that WWE were teasing him to be like the leader or the one to go forward and then change plans because of maybe the fan reaction or there was just something more about Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose has still got the chance to be put somewhere. It just depends on how they bring him back up to Roman Reigns' level.
Yeah, and I don't think Roman Reigns is the least talented of the 3. I think all 3 of them are definitely talented. It's just Roman Reigns has more of the look that WWE want to push, and that's something you cannot learn. That's no doubt. There's not to say that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose won't have a place in WWE down the line. It's just that WWE thinks that they could draw more money out of a Roman Reigns, and based on that track record, could be true. I mean, he is cousins with The Rock, for God's sake. Howard Starr, do you think TNA will come up with a network? What are your thoughts?
With all the rumours and all the fans who think that TNA is not going to last till the end of this year, they put all this money to build a network, only for all that money to be drained away. To be honest, I think the fact that WWE know they're rock solid, they can do whatever they want. If they want to make a TV sitcom about the WWE, they know they're going to be stuck there and it's going to last a longer time than TNA.
If a career WWE mid-carder and MVP can afford to invest in the company, and have power in the company, then how the hell would TNA ever be able to afford some kind of network unless it was like some really, really amateur second, third, or eighth one?
They could win Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Even that wouldn't really help. They could win that 100 times over and still not be able to do it. You know how much the WWE network is costing them? Fucking loads. What would convince Sting to come to WWE, and how much money would they give him to main event? Obviously a Hall of Fame place would help. Would probably be one of Sting's things. A match at WrestleMania, which I'm guessing you'd want.
The match that's not happened, him versus Taker at WrestleMania, because everyone dreams to be facing the guy that everyone respects, who's meant to be at the top of the company, even though John Cena is considered to be that man.
And also, I think having him work with guys that maybe, that he's never worked with before will present a new challenge to Sting, and maybe he'll be a little bit more motivated as well. Not to mention the fact that WWE will probably offer him a lot of money, and then afterwards a Legends contract for just being around the WWE and maybe a backstage role.
And he could be another name to put over John Cena.
Yeah. The Lord Devil 17. Do I have to pay $9.99 to watch the NXT show? Because that's the only show I care about. It's $9.99 just for the pay-per-views. I'm so confused. Well, you get $9.99, you get NXT... you get pretty much everything with it. If you just want to watch NXT, don't buy the WWE Network, just watch it online the next day. That's what I do. It's the way it works. Although, I will say this. If you want to watch NXT live on February 27th, then you will have to buy the WWE Network, I believe. And I believe that is going to be a pay-per-view as well. So consider that. But you will be in a 6-month commitment, so who really knows? Danny Allmark. Do you guys think TNA will be around next year, as they're in big trouble because they're still in the UK and they don't seem to have anywhere to film TNA anymore in the USA? Well, you may have asked this question a couple of weeks ago, but since then I think they've made a deal with Universal Studios, which means they're going to be back in the Impact Zone. It's exactly the kind of reaction you expect from the Impact Zone crowd, pretty much, even if you get Hulk Hogan coming out there. Yeah, exactly, poke someone. But I don't think they're necessarily in big trouble. I mean, their ratings have gone up quite a lot recently. The last week's show, I believe the last show they did a 1.24, and the show before that maybe did a bit less. So, they're not doing too bad right now.
Even though it's storyline scripted, with the whole Dixie Carter's plan to take out all the big names in TNA, the Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Sting, Hogan, AJ, yeah, they could be in trouble.
What an idea, eh? Oh yeah, I don't mind big stars like Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy going.
Them out.
That's best for business, isn't it?
Left with no.
Yeah, they will have to go on the road, but they said they could not do it because of money. To be honest, I want TNA to be different, like it used to be. It was something different to watch, but as soon as they become more like WWE, they lost the edge of being different. I hope TNA is able to turn around. What is your view on the subject? Yes, I haven't watched TNA since Destination X, and I really wasn't pleased with the way the product was going. I watched my first edition of Impact, I believe it was last week on Thursday. I actually did a little tiny review of it on my channel from a recovering TNA fan. So let's hope TNA in the next couple of weeks can do a little bit more to get me back, and then I could probably start doing Impact reviews again. When I want to. Hopefully that'll be the case. What about you?
Okay, with Impact, I do feel they need some... Look, again, we said this months back, but TNA are going to continue trying all these different ideas to get themselves noticed. Some haven't worked out, some are hoping to work out. But I feel that TNA do need something that's going to keep them growing instead of dropping.
Mm-hmm. JP Payne. What do you think will and what do you think should be the main event of WrestleMania? What match would you like to see most?
Ooh.
Batista and Orton will main event WrestleMania. It's going to happen.
I'm still questioning Undertaker's main event or his match. To be honest, I think that the big surprise factor was if they started to give Taker the main event to WrestleMania. Thinking, why are they suddenly doing this? Is there a reason why he's getting the main event? That'd be for me.
And this brings me on to my match. I would like to see John Cena versus Undertaker in the main event of WrestleMania 30. I think that would be a great main event. I really do. So that's the match I would like to see most. How about you? Something involving Daniel Bryan, maybe, I guess.
I'm going to go with a match we've not seen before, Triple H versus Taker. I think that match, it could be phenomenal. It could be the last of all eras, you know, brilliant, brilliant match.
At least my shirt doesn't make me delusional, MJ.
Oh, we've got the same shirt on, sorry.
Delusional. So it would be the fourth match then at WrestleMania. What big stipulation would you... Okay, third. What stipulation would you give this great match then, MJ?
I'd put it career versus streak. Go me! WWE, book it. Right.
Because that match at WrestleMania 17 never happened, did it?
Nope. It didn't. What do you mean? It didn't happen.
RFV 089. Do you like the Rockstar Spud gimmick? Oh, it's fucking brilliant. I'll tell you what, this Rockstar Spud gimmick is so entertaining. I just love the fact that he's this short, dickhead British guy, and he's got this job that clearly he has no idea what to do, and he's, you know, Madam Dixie Carter. It's just really, really fucking entertaining. I can't believe they took the Rockstar Spud gimmick and made it this entertaining.
In fact, it sometimes feel that the wrestlers or the writers feel sorry for him, and he tries to prove himself by standing up to wrestlers. And when he stands up to wrestlers, that's the comedy bit. But everyone feels sorry. Like Dixie, I'm pretty sure she feels sorry for him. But it's when he stands up to them, that's where the gold is.
Just like he did with Madam Dixie Carter. All right, Madam Dixie Carter. Yeah, all right, Carter. No, I'm joking. Why do you think TNA's product has deteriorated? Well, it was mainly because of the Aces and Eights and the fact that TNA put so much focus on the old guard, but it looks like they're kind of changing that up a little bit now, so it has deteriorated somewhat to the point where, you know, me as a massive TNA fan stopped watching it.
My points come from Hogan. I really weren't enjoying him as the general manager. I really weren't. And Dixie to some aspect, but I think the main thing is the concentration on the writing of the matches you provide. Like, I think it really went down after the James Storm and Bobby Roode time. When that failed, I think TNA started to go down then.
I think it was late 2012 when the Aces and Eights started to come on board. That's what, when I just thought to myself, fucking hell, this is a product in decline. Anyway, and also the marketing. I mean, when you can't fill a TNA house show with more than like a couple hundred people, that's bad marketing, in my opinion. Gordon Armstrong. Hi, Dan and NJ. Assuming they don't split the belts again, who do you see holding the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in 2014 other than Randy Orton? Do you think they'll give it to Daniel Bryan?
They'd be foolish not to, even though this would be his third, fourth holding of it. But I think they'd be foolish not to give it to him.
Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan is a wrestler they probably will have to give it to at some point. I'd see Batista holding the belt. I mean, I see him winning it at WrestleMania personally, especially since Orton has pretty much been the champion since SummerSlam off and on.
I think, I don't like his retirement. I don't like it whatsoever. Brock Lesnar's there. He hasn't actually held it since he came back. So maybe giving him it to prove that he is there as a monster fighting the champions. But out of all the people there is right now, I'm going to say give it to Batista. Yeah.
At WrestleMania. Also, which wrestlers' gimmicks from the past do you think could suit current WWE and TNA talent?
Triple H is one. Give it to Damon Sandow. That would work.
Oh, the Blue Blood gimmick. Yes, that would work, even though they're kind of doing it. They could give like a Roddy Piper's gimmick, in my opinion, to Dean Ambrose. I think that would be a perfect fit. Possibly even Brian Pillman's gimmick.
The Gobbledygooper to Santino.
El Torito. You could have a smaller version of the Gobbledygooker. Give I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of a gimmick to give to Dolph Ziggler, like a show-off gimmick. I don't know. I'm trying to think I don't really know. I try and give like Edge's gimmick to Ziggler. I don't know. I'm not really sure. This is off the top of our heads, so we don't really know. The Neon Brick. If you have any thoughts, by the way, please comment them below. This will be the last question we answer in this Q&A. The Neon Brick. Hi, British Fist.
Hi.
Do you think Jeff Hardy will be returning to WWE, or do you think him leaving was part of the storyline, but he did put something out on Twitter? Do you, with something to do with the Royal Rumble, your thoughts? I think, don't interrupt me, NJ. You already wore the same shirt as me deliberately, so don't interrupt me.
Okay.
Obviously, I believe. What? I'm not even talking anymore. Go on, talk. Give your opinion, NJ. Talk! No, I'm joking.
So, what do you think of the question, Dan?
What do I think of the question? I think it's a very good question, actually.
Answer the question.
You used to stop distracting me.
We've got to finish the Q&A. We've got to finish it. So, answer the question. Okay.
Jeff Hardy is out of TNA now because he can't travel to the UK. That's why he got injured in that story. That's why he walked out in the storyline, etc. And he wasn't part of the Royal Rumble, so I don't see him being part of the WWE from now forward. Now I won't interrupt you on your opinions. I'm going to be the bigger man here.
Jeff Hardy, the biggest thing, his biggest feud was against CM Punk. When he said that he was going to come back, I think he should relive that because fans want to see him back. But obviously, he's got to work around some kind of deal with the WWE as the fact he can't travel to the UK.
Yep. That's another Q&A with us of interest. Another 20 minutes of us answering questions from you guys. I have been Mr. Parkin.
Cody Rhodes.
My Cody Rhodes shirt. And this guy in another, exactly the same sized and design Cody Rhodes shirt is MJ.
We're dashing, fresh fist, ka-ching!
And see you again for another Q&A next week.